Welcome to the Ringer NFL show. Sheil Kapadia here with JP Acosta from CBS Sports. Great to have him here. You can listen to him on the Pushing the Pile podcast. We just got finished watching Packers Commanders. So we're going to talk about that game. And then at the end of the show, I will give you my Ringer 107 picks. JP, before we dive into the game, I got to start the show with this question. If you are a Dallas Cowboys fan who happened to be watching Thursday Night Football and Micah Parsons, what is going through your head right now before you go to bed?
So many negative things about Jerry Jones. Just far too many negative things. It is the type of things that you got to go and pray and ask for forgiveness for. It's just all the worst things.
Yeah, I that's what I was thinking as I was watching that game. If I was watching that game, I would just be thinking, I can't believe the whole game was like a tribute to Micah Parsons, which we're going to get into here. So let's take a quick break. Let's get into it. Packers looked great. Commanders, are we worried at all? We'll get into all the storylines from this game when we come back. This is the Ringer NFL show presented by FanDuel, and the NFL is officially back. So if you're going to be in it with FanDuel. They've got the goods, futures, live betting, SGPs, your way bets, all of it. The app's clean, it's fast, and yeah, when you win, you get paid instantly, which is nice because Sunday patience doesn't exist. So get your bets in, build something bold, and make every game feel bigger. Download the FanDuel app or head to FanDuel.com/RingerNFL to get started. The Ringer is committed to responsible gaming. Please visit rg-help.com to learn more about the resources and helplines available, and listen to the end of the episode for additional details. Must be 21 plus and present in select states, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Paid endorsement. All right, we're back on the Ringer NFL show. All right, JP, I'm going to get us started. My big takeaway, because you can really go in a number of different directions with the Packers here, but I'm going with the obvious, and that's that Micah Parsons has already transformed the Green Bay Packers. It's been 2 weeks. They were already a very good team. Like, you could have picked the Packers to go to the Super Bowl before they got Micah Parsons, and no one would have said you were crazy. But if you were watching that game and it didn't, if you didn't think it felt different than it's felt for the Packers the last couple of years, I don't know what you're watching, because Parsons, part-time player right now, team high 8 pressures. The numbers almost don't even matter. Just the experience of watching that game and how differently the Commanders had to play, and how the Packers could just rush for, play zone coverage, take away the explosive plays, and they knew their pass rush was going to get home because of Micah Parsons. It's completely changed the way I look at that team, and I think the way we've looked at that team over the past few years.
We say it a lot, but a rising tide lifts all boats. And Micah Parsons is the biggest rising tide to hit Green Bay in a very long time. It's just something different about watching him and watching how it affects the entire defense. There was a play during the game where he's taking on, I think, like a triple team, and still forces Jaden Daniels out of the pocket, forcing incompletion. And like you said, it allows Jeff Hafley, defensive coordinator, to be so much more versatile with his coverages, knowing that you don't have to devote so many bodies to pass rush, but when you really turn it on, when you really have Micah Parsons lined up in different spots, Edgerrin Cooper, Quay Walker as blitzers, there were so many unblocked pressures today for Washington, because you have to account for number one on the edge. You have to send people at him, and you can tell how tight the Commanders were every time they went to a drop back situation, to the point where they're using Deebo Samuel to chip. Austin Eckler was a chip guy. They were just throwing bodies at him just to try and slow him down so Jaden Daniels gets some time to throw the ball. And if you're dictating pass protection like that, you've already won.
Yeah, it's the old force multiplier jargon that we use when we talk about football, but it's spot on. Like you said, I mean, you look at the other guys, the Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, Devontae, all the guys, the linebackers, like you mentioned, what Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator, can do now with this guy. And again, he's a part-time player right now. Like, I don't even know how many snaps he played tonight, but there were a lot of sideline shots of Micah Parsons, and then him coming in on third down, or him, rotating in on first down there as he gets healthy and as he gets acclimated. And so it's just completely changed kind of the ceiling, I think. I shouldn't even say ceiling, because I thought they could have been a Super Bowl team, but just the ways they can win now. Offensively, we'll talk about, you have a great play caller, you have a very good head coach, you have a quarterback who looks healthy and is playing well. But now defensively, like if you get in a slugfest, in a playoff game, or just the formula we're talking about, this is a formula that has worked for many Super Bowl teams where they say, hey, let's play zone. I mean, think of the Eagles against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year. What was the game plan? That rematch is coming up this weekend. It was zone coverage on almost every single down, rush 4, win with the pass rush. And then Vic Fangio, who likes a lot of wrinkles, he's like, I'm not overthinking this. If every defensive coordinator, if they can play that way, that's kind of how they want to play.
And it also ties so well into what Jeff Hafley has done with the coverage. Outside of Micah Parsons, the Packers' downfield coverage really stood out. Those guys are on a string, communicating with each other so well. There are multiple times where they're spinning from single high into an inverted Tampa 2 with Xavier McKinney as sort of that middle robber guy. And every time Jaden Daniels has to hold on to the ball. And what that does is, if you're speeding up the process up front with Micah Parsons and all the pass rush games, but can still spin inverted Tampa 2s on third downs, good luck, because you're thinking so quickly about the pass coverage, but then Micah Parsons is moving at a different speed than everybody else. And they have created so much of a problem for opposing offenses that you just cannot get into you can't get into obvious passing situations against this team.
I don't remember like an open wide receiver for the Commanders all night. I'm with you. I mean, it was just
there was none.
Yeah, they were he was trying to take some shots downfield. He knew at times, like you said, I got to get rid of the football or I'm going to get crushed here. He took some hits. He didn't really, scrambling wasn't really available to him because that's a really fast Packers defense. And I'm with you. Keyshawn Nixon, Valentine, Hobbs, those guys were all over those Commanders wide receivers. I think at one point in the fourth quarter, 30% of Jaden Daniels' throws were into tight windows compared to 7% for Jordan Love. So just a very impressive defensive performance for the Packers. Commanders had 230 yards of offense, 15 first downs. Both of those are the lowest totals in any game that Jaden Daniels has started in 1+ year. In the NFL.
Insane. I was trying to figure out what other things really could help kind of categorize and like talk about this game. And something that I saw was on early downs, the Commanders' early down runs had a 20% success rate.
Yeah.
That's not going to win. You're not going to win a lot of games. Yeah. And it's another testament to how Micah Parsons affects this team, but also how Jeff Hafley has sort of created this defense where they're able to steal a lot of gaps in the run game, despite not being very big. I mean, Devontae Wyatt is maybe around 300. Colby Wooden's more of a 290, 295 guy. Carl Brooks is undersized. Their biggest guy, I think, is Nazir Stackhouse, and he barely plays. So they're able to spin into gaps using stunts and loops, and they were able to frustrate the Commanders' run game for the entire game. And once you can't run the ball against this team, they can just pin their ears back, and that's where you lose.
Yeah, and that's been a hard run game to stop. I mean, you got Jaden Daniels involved. They're creative in what they do. And they've had a very good run game really since day one with Jaden Daniels. So you're right. They got him. And even those drives where they scored, it felt like, all right, they got to convert this fourth down. They got to get a penalty or this third down. So great job by the Packers defense there. The next thing I want to talk about with Green Bay, JP, is Matt LeFleur. And I feel like, let me ask you, before I give what is your take on Matt LeFleur? Like, is he just in the upper echelon for you? Do you think he's underrated, overrated, pretty boy, yelling at his team? I mean, what's your Matt LeFleur take here?
I hate to be not a hot take artist, but I think he's properly rated as one of the better coaches in the league. The way that he has designed this offense and continued to build upon the things that he has done in the offense. They kept all the Malik Willis like spinner stuff in the run game that they ran when Jordan Love was hurt. They kept all that in the playbook. And now you have a guy in Jordan Love who was able to make every throw. But what stood out today was they were just opening up windows using motion. And the way that they use that jet motion to just widen the nickel defender and just throw a seam right behind them. And it really gave their Washington second level defenders a lot of problems. Bobby Wagner just was running around all over the place, trying to put out fires everywhere. Yeah. And that's a testament to Matt LeFleur's offensive design. Like, he's able to open up windows using motion and formations. And that's when you get those guys, when you get Tucker Kraft the ball after the catch, he is a monster with the ball in his hands. You're able to kind of elevate this entire offense with the way that you're designing plays. So Matt LeFleur is one of the better floor raisers in the NFL with his play calling.
Tucker Kraft, you mentioned. I got to get this on the record, JP, because I handed off one of my fantasy teams to my daughter. She's in 8th grade this year, and she wanted to do it. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of tired of managing multiple teams. Brock Bowers and Tucker Kraft on the team. So she comes out, and what do? I got to set my lineup. She says, Bauer's going to play. I said, I don't know, but he plays at 10 o'clock Eastern on Monday night. So you're not going to know. Like, they literally haven't even practiced yet. So I said, I think you should just start Tucker Kraft. You might get burned if Bowers plays. But then Tucker, Father of the Year, JP. I'm giving it to myself, right?
Oh, yeah. We got to get you a little Father of the Year mug. We got to get the award for you.
I felt good because I would be hearing about it. If Tucker Kraft went 2 catches for 19 yards, your boy would be hearing about that for a long time. But no, I love what you said about LeFleur scheming up those explosive plays and the way he did it. He had the Commanders in a blender. From like the first series, there were just guys wide open and going a bunch of different guys. At times it almost felt, when Ben Johnson last year, it felt like he would get bored sometimes and just be like, when they're giving those Savion Williams, manufactured touches. And I'm like, all right, LeFleur's just like, let me empty out the whole bag right now. We practice these. We might as well go with it. So I even felt like they didn't play a perfect game. They left plays on the field. That could have been 35, 40 points. But yeah, I just thought he did an awesome job. His winning percentage is 12th in NFL history, which I don't even know if people realize is better than Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh. Now, he's never won that Super Bowl, but he just consistently wins games year after year. So impressed with Matt LeFleur.
And they were able to do this offensively without Zach Tom and Aaron Banks. And there was just the weird penalties stopped them from scoring 40 points.
It's a great point because I'm looking at, all the games this weekend and it's like this team has multiple O-line injuries. And there are certain teams when that happens, you're like, this is going to sink them. Like, I think their offense is going to stink, is going to get torpedoed. But there are other teams and it's almost like a differentiating factor for some of these teams. Like the Eagles, I feel like they can withstand it. The Packers, they can withstand it. Lions, we'll see. Past versions of the Lions, I felt like they could withstand it. That you have a couple of those injuries, but you trust the coaching, you trust the depth, you trust that they'll scheme around it and won't make those guys do too much. But you're right. It came up early in the game that they're down 2 offensive linemen, but then as you're watching the game, you kind of wouldn't even know that was the case. So yeah, they did a terrific job there. All right, let's take a break. I want to come back. We've barely talked about the quarterback. I want to talk about the quarterback for the Packers and then get your take on where you are with the Commanders. This episode is brought to you by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. NFL Sundays are back and you won't want to miss the action. NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV lets you catch every game every Sunday all in one place. And now new users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Head to youtube.com/RingerNFL and sign up now. New users pay $276 or 8 non-cancelable payments of $34.50 per month. First charged at purchase. Availability varies with NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games and YouTube TV base plan for local and national games. Base plan required. Device and content restrictions apply. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Excludes digital-only games. Commercial use excluded. No refunds. All right, we're back on the Ringer NFL show. Jordan Love, 19 for 31, 292 yards, and 2 touchdowns. JP, he is, when we all like to look at our charts, average depth to target, who's throwing down, and we're all sad because we see Patrick Mahomes at 6 and whoever else. And we're like, no, let these guys show off their talents. Jordan Love is here to save us because his average pass went 14 yards downfield and he's never seen a downfield opportunity that he doesn't want to take advantage of.
Jordan Love is the perfect quarterback for people who think that like the peak of quarterbacking happened in like the mid 2010s, like early 2010s with Brady and like Peyton Manning. He's always throwing the ball downfield. And I respect that so much. And I respect the offense for being built around his aggression, throwing the ball downfield. And I think that's something that Matt LeFleur doesn't get a lot of credit for, is sort of morphing this offense from being with Aaron Rodgers so much of a point and shoot, like, I'm not going to call it dink and dunk, but it was uber efficient through Aaron Rodgers just kind of being a supercomputer at quarterback. Jordan Love is still making steps towards that. And I've actually thought he's improved in his pre-snap and post-snap and sort of diagnosing coverages. But what he really does is LeFleur has given him the full, like, look, man, if it's not there, just throw it downfield, because you have the arm and you're able to make other throws that a lot of guys can't make. So this game, I think, had a couple of just weird misses. Like the opening drive miss on 4th down, I think he was just late on. But outside of that, I mean, you can tell that he's got full control of this offense in another year. And I'm really excited to see how he continues to grow.
Yeah, that 4th down, there was a Matthew Golden deep shot where it looks like he just missed on that. His best throw might have been the one that got called back to Jayden Reed. I think it was the first possession where Jayden Reed unfortunately got injured and the Packers had a holding penalty. But that was like a sick throw into a small space on the right side there in the end zone. So yeah, I've been a Jordan Love fan for years now. People get on me, you hype him up too much and you overrate him. I'm like, I just love the style of play, to your point. I love that he's looking for those explosives. And tonight, a lot of them were schemed up. And then like you said, he's taking shots regardless. There were 2 plays I loved from Jordan Love in this game. One of them, first half, a scramble, which I'll give credit to our friend here at the Ringer. Deontay Lee was the first guy I remember pointing this out last year. I think it was. He's just like, Jordan Love never scrambles and it holds him back. And I'm like, you're right. Jordan Love never does scramble. Why doesn't he scramble? And so that was great to see. I don't know if he needs to lower the shoulder or not, but there was a play in the first half. He takes off, goes down the right side, picks up a first down with the scramble. And then in the second half, not the same thing, but he felt some pressure, creation mode, rolled out to his right. It was a 3rd down. It was a tight game at that point, 17-10, and he finds Tucker Kraft. So I feel like he's got that creation mode in him. He doesn't always turn to it. And even simple things like, hey man, you could run and pick up 8 yards here. Other quarterbacks are doing it. I really like to see that.
I like to see it too. And it's unlocking another aspect of his game that can really help take it to another level and help keep the offense as efficient as it is. Because of how far he throws the ball downfield, every opposing defense is going to go, oh my gosh, we got to get downfield to cover and make sure we have enough bodies 25, 30 yards downfield. If you don't have it, you can just scramble and take the easy yards yourself. That is basically another version of a check down in the offense, outside of just their run game being their version of a check down. So I think Jordan Love adding that to his game is going to be huge. And just the throw to Malik Heath, where he kind of just like, he literally got like toe tapped it, was insane. Just one of the most incredible catches that was probably like, there's been a lot of insane catches. That has been one of my favorites of the year. But man, just the ability to put the ball exactly where it needs it to be. Like you said, the touchdown to Reed that got called back was insane. But he is growing and becoming a quarterback that I think we all hoped he could have been, which is like an upper echelon guy who can elevate everybody else around him.
I love the Heath call out because my favorite catches are the ones where you watch live and you go, no chance, he's not in. And then they show the replay and they show the toes and you get to go crazy, watching on TV like, oh my gosh, how did he get those 2 feet in? So yeah, that's what Heath did on that play. Supporting cast did a nice job today for the Packers. That's been a popular topic for years and rightfully so, but they came through for Jordan Love in this game. So let's zoom out. Packers, and it's only week 2, but just like NFC contenders, is it, again, it's way too early to be discussing this, but we're doing a podcast. What do you want from me? Is it in your head? Is it like Packers and Eagles and everyone else? Is it Packers, Eagles, and hey, don't forget about the Lions and someone else? Just say, what's your kind of gut feel very early in the season?
So very early, I think it's the Packers. I think it's the Eagles. And then I would throw the Bucs in there.
Bucs, okay.
I think getting Tristan Wirfs back healthy, potentially getting Chris Godwin back. I think both have said like they don't know if they'll play on Monday. If Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin both play Monday, that would be an incredible testament to their recovery process. But that is once again adding another element to their offense. But it's hard to not say the Packers aren't Super Bowl contenders because they're so dominant on defense right now. And I'm sure they're probably going to go through lulls during the season because it's a long season. But when you have an impact player like Micah Parsons, when your defense in the secondary is as tied together as they are, and you have a quarterback that you can trust in big games, you're going to go really far when it comes to playoff time. So they're definitely one of the Super Bowl contenders in the NFC.
They feel like they can win in a lot of different ways right now with the way they're set up. Run game, play calling, scheming stuff. Jordan Love can just go to that tier where maybe the scheme's not working, but he's making high degree of difficulty throws, the defense, the pass rush, the coverage, to your point. So yeah, I think I'm embarrassed. I can't believe I asked you. We're in week 2. I already finished week 2 and I'm asking you that question. Listen, this is what happens sometimes when you're doing the daily pods. Your mind wanders to weird places there. How about the Commanders, JP? We haven't talked too much about them because I don't really think this game was about them. Are you like, all right, that was just kind of a learning experience? Are you like, no, some of the warts that maybe I thought we were going to see from this team were exposed tonight?
I think they'll be fine. I think they just kind of ran into a buzzsaw this game. I do think I'm going to be monitoring some of their run game stuff, especially the running back runs, because the offense last year was so propped up by Jaden Daniels scrambling. If teams, which there are very few of them, but if there are teams that are able to slow down Jaden as a scrambler, how are you able to move the ball on the ground? Which is where I think you add more Bill Krosky-Merritt into the offense. I think you get Deebo Samuel involved in the run game. The biggest thing for them is Deebo Samuel looks healthy and he looks like he has the juice again. And that's something that's going to help keep that offense efficient, especially because it feels like Terry McLaurin has sort of kind of been an afterthought.
What's going on with him? Yeah, I don't know if he's injured or what. Yeah.
It's weird. Maybe it's just the ramp up after the holdout, but I think if they get Terry McLaurin back up to speed and all the elements in the offense, they'll be fine. It's just they ran into an angry group of Packers.
Yeah, and their O-line couldn't hold up and didn't have their full group there, and this is not the week to be a little undermanned on the offensive line. So I'm with you. I think defense, I don't think they have a great defense. They're going to have to be opportunistic and create turnovers and negative plays, and I think we expected that coming into the season here. I don't think Jaden Daniels looked bad. I mean, like I said, I don't remember an open wide receiver for him all night long. So, without having watched the film or anything, I don't know what he was supposed to do there. I am concerned about the pass catcher group is an interesting one. I'm with you. When Deebo got the ball late or even on the return, it's like, okay, he's got some juice. But I was like, where was that earlier in the game? There were some snaps, he wasn't on the field early, and I'm wondering. And then Terry McLaurin, like you said, hasn't been much of a factor through 2 weeks. So just like the secondary receiver and those kinds of things. But man, they figured it out last year. So I kind of give them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to be okay there. All right, yeah. JP, we did it. I think, we covered this game. JP Acosta, love talking football with him. CBS Sports, Pushing the Pile podcast. Check him out there. Appreciate you coming on, JP. I'll be back in a minute to go over the Ringers 107. The Ringer NFL show is brought to you by FanDuel. NFL Sunday's coming. You've got your crew, your couch, your snacks, your slate, and FanDuel's coming in with something extra. This isn't just another NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place that perfect parlay or hit your go-to player prop. And now we're making it even better because this week, FanDuel's bringing the bonus. That's right. Right now, all customers can get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account because that's what Sunday should feel like. Visit FanDuel.com/RingerNFL to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff. Must be 21 plus and present in select states or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. All right, it's the hurry up. And on Fridays, you know what we do. It's the Ringer 107. Today's Ringer 107 is brought to you by FanDuel. I will give my 5 picks for this contest. Hopefully you've heard about it on other pods. We're competing with the Bill Simmons podcast, with the Ringer Fantasy guys, and with 2 different Ringer gambling shows. So I made 5 picks last week, 2 and 3. Not great, but you know what? It was tied for the best record. So we're okay. We're still in the mix. So let's have a nice week here in week 2 with my 5 picks. Pick number 1, I'm going Cowboys -4.5 at home versus the Giants. I know we made fun of them at the beginning of this podcast, but guess what? I like to make fun of the Giants more. I want to fade this Giants team. We talked about it with JJ on the pod earlier this week. I think they stink. Brian Daboll has won 36% of his games as an NFL head coach. I think they're counting down until they go to Jackson Dart here. And then the Cowboys, I actually thought had a very respectable showing in week 1. I think their offense looked pretty good. I don't love their defense, but against the Giants, do I really care? You just got to limit some explosive plays from Russell Wilson. So I don't think the Giants are good enough to move the ball consistently in this game. I think Dallas wins it comfortably. So that's my first pick. Pick number 2, give me the Texans -2.5. Now, JP had me a little nervous because the Texans are playing the Bucs. He thinks the Bucs are a Super Bowl contender, but I like the Texans in this game -2.5 on Monday Night Football against Tampa. I'm not that confident in the Texans offense. I'll be honest. Week 1, not great, but I don't think they have to light it up. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. They just have to win by a field goal. I think they bounce back after losing to the Rams in week 1. So Texans -2.5. All right, pick number 3, the Denver Broncos, also -2.5. They are at the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm sorry, but you know what, Daniel Jones? You're going to have to do it again before I'm a believer. So if I'm getting a very good defense against Daniel Jones and it's under a field goal, I'm taking it. Maybe that'll look dumb, and the Colts offense will be the story after 2 weeks, but I feel pretty good about it. The Colts have some injuries at cornerback. And then that Broncos game was very weird in week 1. They had the 4 turnovers, but if you look at it last year, Bo Nix is not like a turnover-prone quarterback. That was kind of his superpower, was avoiding negative plays. So I think that was an anomaly in week 1, and I think he'll play better and more importantly, make fewer mistakes in week 2. So I'll tell you this much. If the Broncos lose this game, Sean Payton better call every single reporter back and tell them, hey, I hate my team now. Because he called them all in the summer on his propaganda tour and told them he had a Super Bowl team. So if he loses to the Colts in week 2, we need retractions, Sean Payton. All right, that's Broncos -2.5. Pick number 4, give me the Seahawks +3 at the Steelers. Do I trust the Seahawks offense? Of course not. But Justin Fields went up and down the field against this Steelers defense last week. So I think there's hope for Sam Darnold and Clint Kubiak in Seattle to get back on track. Defensively, I thought the Seahawks did some nice things last week. Little banged up in the secondary. Makes me a little bit nervous. But in general, Mike Tomlin as an underdog, don't bet against him. Mike Tomlin as a favorite, you want to fade him a little bit. That's not a bad strategy. So that's what I'm doing here. Seahawks +3. And then finally, pick number 5. Give me the Bills -6.5 at the Jets. It's like I said with Daniel Jones, with Justin Fields. Played well in week 1. Would just like to see you do it again. That Bills offense is just so reliable. If they fail to cover this number or lose the game and it's because of turnovers or special teams miscues or whatever, so be it. But if the Jets just thoroughly outplayed the Bills in this game, that would surprise me. So I've got Cowboys, Texans, Broncos, Seahawks, and Bills. Those are my 5 picks. Today's Ringer 107 was brought to you by FanDuel. Odds subject to change. All right. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thank you to Christopher Sutton for producing, Kiera Givens and Brian Waters on social. Additional production supervision by Conor Nevins and Arjuna Ramgopowell. I'll be back Monday morning breaking down week 2 in the NFL on the Ringer NFL show. Everyone have a great weekend. Talk to you then.
Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino.
or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.